Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and today we're going to talk about some plants, but not just any plants. We're going to go through seasonal holiday plants. Now, if you watch my videos, you know I just put up a video about my Lego Bike Shop mock, and I just dressed it up for Christmas. And I didn't go in great detail because it was just kind of a quick video. So I want to show you some of the plants that I built in that video and how to build them. So these are going to be things for winter, for the Christmas season. Some interesting holiday plants, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these techniques. First thing I incorporated in there was this wreath I built, and this wreath is really simple. The way I built this is I use a bunch of these pieces, and I just did a video on this piece and how useful it is. I'll link that at the end of this video. And basically when you take 8 of these, they make an octagon, just like this, which is the basis of the wreath. All I then do is add 1x1 rounds with holes in them, just like this, and I would alternate them, dark green, dark red, dark green, dark red, dark green, dark red, dark green, and then one space blank. That's where I put the clip to hang it from. So I think it turned out pretty cool. I think it's a good looking wreath and pretty simple to do. It doesn't take a lot of parts. Next up, I want to show you some potted plants I did, and I really want to focus more on the color scheme here. This is kind of classic Christmas look where we've got the darker colors mixed with the bright red. So I like the darker green leafage. These are these new fern pieces. I just have 3 of them here, plus a 1x1 round going into this gold pot. And then on top, I have a dark brown 6-way flower stem. Sit in the middle, 3 red flowers and 3 gold stars. These gold stars were on Pick-a-Brick, so I had a whole bunch of them. I also did a flower box, and the one thing I really liked about this were these flowers. I wish I had more of these. I would have used them on all the plants in this mock, but they're from Lego Friends. I only had like 4 of them, so this is 3 out of the 4. And the reason I like them is they look a lot like poinsettias. I basically just alternated dark green 3 leaves with gold 3 leaves. This is 2 3-branch pieces into this flower pot, and then a little stem down in the middle there just to fill it up. I think it turned out pretty cool. The thing I like to avoid when building Christmas stuff is stay away from the bright, vibrant colors. A little bit of the brighter green is okay, but dark green I think fits the holiday and the season a lot better, because it's not as pop out in your face, vibrant, bright green. I also did a hanging basket in that build, and same basic technique, except I just have a rod down the middle that I can hang it from, but again, designed to look like a poinsettia hanging basket. So real simple, and just trying to stick to that same color scheme throughout. Next, I'm going to show you how I made the bushes for the build, and I was really happy with how these came out. I started with a 2x2 round with 1 stud jumper in the middle. And then I just put a bar piece in it. Now I used these trans blue bar pieces because I have a ton of them because they were on Pick-a-Brick. Doesn't matter what color you use because they are going to be completely covered. So that just goes right up the middle. Next, 1x1 round with hole in it all the way down to the base. And that's going to be the start, the construction of the bush. Now my bush is going to have a few different layers. The bottom layer is going to look like a bunch of just bare branches, and it's going to be dark orange. And then as I work my way up, I'm going to use white. But to keep it from all being really obviously different colored, we're going to blend them together by putting some snow on the branches. And the way I do that is this. The dark orange is going to be the first layer I put in. I just take a bunch of these 1x1 tiles with rounded on one side, and I'm going to put them on all the edges. And this is going to kind of look like when you get a plant or a bush that has snow clumped on all the sides and just kind of hanging off of it. And it's going to make it blend more into the plant. And then I want to create more of a branchy look because this is going to be a bush so it has lost all of its leaves. So I'm just going to stick these little branch pieces in these holes, kind of staggering them around so they're not all right next to each other. Just like that. And that's going to be my first layer of the bush. Now the next layer, I'm going to do the same thing, but in white. But before I put that on, I got to space them out by using two 1x1 round with open stud down in the middle. And then we'll put our second layer on, alternating the direction of the branch piece, just like that. Two more 1x1 rounds, and we're ready for the top. On the top, I do less of the branch pieces just to make it look like it's more snow covered. I alternate again, stick it down, and then on top I like to do a mixture of parts. On this one I did a 2x2 round plate, one of these little corner tiles, and one of these slope tiles. And the point here is just to kind of cover up a lot of the top of the bush. So this will now stick right on the middle here and cover up kind of that middle section. And I don't know, let me know what you think below, but I think this looks like a really good bush covered in snow that lost all its leaves. So next I need to make a tree that looked like it had lost all its leaves. And this is particularly difficult because when you take all the leaves off, it uncovers all the imperfections in your tree, and it makes it hard to make it look really skinny and leafless. I started again with a 2x2 round jumper, and then two brown candlesticks. Next I did one of these bottle topper spout pieces to change into an anti-stud. And then I got some of these 1x1 bar pieces. And I made these into a triangle. I alternate them with 1x1 round plates, spacing them out. Next thing I did was make the branches. I take one of these clip pieces with an open stud, put a 3-branch flower piece, a candlestick. I wish I had a solution that was thinner than a candlestick, but I can't really think of a good one. Another branch piece, and then one of these short, tiny branch pieces on the end. And that's going to be the limbs of the tree. They'll clip on just like that. I made two more of those, and that gives us our adjustable angles. And then we have to finish the center of the tree. To get to the center, I can fold these out for the time being. I got a brown cone shape upside down, a brown 1x1 round with hole in it. And the reason I switched from the cone to this was to give a little bit of height, but this one here grabs the flower piece a little bit better, the branch piece. Candlestick, and then two more branch pieces, and then we'll top that off with one of these little tiny reddish brown branches. And then we can angle these up and make it look like a young tree that has lost its leaves. This branch is a little long, so you could make it shorter if you want, but I kind of like how it looks there, having the branches all staggered different lengths. Now the last plant I featured in this mock was not a new one. It's one I did in the past, but I did modify it for this mock. But I found it essential to have a nice, large, proud Christmas tree as one of the center points of the mock. Now you may recognize this tree. This is my ultimate pine tree design. I'm not going to try to build this because that's a whole other video that I already did. So I'll post that video at the end if you want to check out how this tree is built. But I redecorated it, and I just put these gold stars all over it and lots of gems, which I use for light bulbs. I have 5 different colors. I have yellow ones, red ones, light blue, dark blue, and there are green as well. For the top, this was particularly tricky, and I'm really happy with what I came up with. I tried for a long time to figure out how to make a good star, and I couldn't make one that I was happy with. And then all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, what's the smallest snot piece I can find on top? And what I came up with was a roller skate. So I have a 1x1 round with hole in it, a gold roller skate, another 1x1 round, one of these, I think it's for a jousting pole, a lance, something like that. And a star on the front. If you didn't know this, roller skates work great for snot. And that way I have this nice little spire, and it has a star on top. So pretty happy with how I finished that off. That's all I've got for this time. If you guys like these videos, please like and subscribe. We do more videos just like this, and we will see you next time.